Hi everybody. Today I have an unboxing for the Venom expansion pack for Marvel Crisis Protocol. Let's go ahead and open up the box and see what's inside. Once you have the box open, these are the items you'll see inside. To save a little bit of time, I went ahead and took these items outside of the two plastic bags that they came in. One of the first items you'll see are the Team Tactics cards. So Venom does come with two different Team Tactics cards. First one you see here is the Lethal Protector card. This is an unaffiliated team tactic. So when an enemy character targets an allied character within range 3 of an allied Venom with an attack, Venom may spend 2 power to play this card. Place Venom within range 1 of the allied character. Venom becomes the target of the attack regardless of range and line of sight. Here's the artwork on the back. Very nice. So you have Venom there as well as Nick Fury. And on the other Team Tactic card, this one is called Uneasy Alliance. This is also an unaffiliated card. This one is reactive, so during their activation, when Spider-Man or Venom targets an enemy character with an attack that is within range 2 of the other allied character, both characters may suffer 1 damage to play this card. Add 3 dice to the attack roll. And then here is the backside of that card. Taking a look at the actual Venom card itself, this is the healthy side. So as you can see there, he does have quite a bit of health, so he starts off with 7 there. His movement is small, so that is where some of those Team Tactics cards that you just saw can come in handy, especially the one that places Venom within range 1 of it, the other allied character there, so that'll help negate the small movement. He is a size 3 with a threat level 4. You'll notice that he does have pretty good physical defense with the ability to roll 4 dice. His energy defense, on the other hand, is a little bit on the lower side, and this is to sort of simulate his weakness to sonic attacks as well as to fire attacks. He does get 3 dice when defending against mystic attacks, though. You'll see that he has his 2 main attacks there, and they're both physical. So there's the Symbiote Tendrils, and then we are Venom. So Symbiote Tendrils, after this attack is resolved, this character gains power equal to the damage dealt. After this attack is resolved, the target character gains the Bleed Special Condition. This is a target 3, and you do get to roll 5 dice for this attack. The nice thing about this is it's basically a free attack because it doesn't cost any power. His other strike attack is We Are Venom. After this attack is resolved, this character removes 1 damage from itself for each damage inflicted. This one is going to be really handy in the game, as you can probably surmise. So this is a range 3 attack. You get to roll 7 dice, and it does cost 3 power. So We Are Venom is going to be especially useful when you pair it with the Lethal Protector card. So you would be basically taking the damage for any of your other allied characters, and each time that you take the damage, you can use We Are Venom to remove that damage from Venom. He also does come with a couple of super abilities, so there's Clintar Rage. Choose an interactive terrain feature or an enemy character, both of size 3 or less, and within range 2 and throw at medium. This superpower can be used only once per turn, and that's a 3 power cost. And then there's Web Snare, So Many Snacks, and also you have 2 passive abilities, so Symbiote Instincts and Wall Crawler. So once again, this is his healthy, uninjured side. Flipping over to the injured side, most of the abilities appear to be the same. The only difference I really see between the two sides is his health. So on the uninjured or healthy side, he has 7 health, and on the injured side, he only has 6. So the abilities pretty much look like they're the same as they are on the healthy side. He does come with a couple of tokens here. So as we saw on his other cards, the bleed status will be prominent in his attack, so it does come with a couple of additional bleed tokens. You have a couple of additional power tokens, and then you also get some tokens for the new Spider-Man affiliation as well. Here are the assembly instructions for Venom. And then the actual sprue itself. So he does come with two, it looks like medium-sized bases. I believe these are the same ones I used for Ultron and Doc Ock from the original set. And then the actual sprue for Venom himself. And that's pretty much the contents of that box. When we come back, I'll show you what he looks like primed and assembled. Alright, so I'll go ahead and spin him around so you can see all the details on this figure. Alright, as you can see back there, there's quite a bit of a detail on the symbiote on his back. Okay, and when we come back, I'll show you what he looks like fully painted. And here you have the finished miniature. Couple of things I wanted to point out. If you have not assembled your figure yet, I would highly suggest you keeping the tongue separate from the rest of the miniature until the very last minute and painting those two separate and then attaching them. As I was painting the figure, the tongue did get in the way quite a bit just because of its shape and its location. It was really hard to get certain spots as far as painting the symbiote and also underneath the chin, just because the tongue got in the way quite a bit. So it would have been much easier if the tongue wasn't in the way. As far as the paint scheme, I went ahead and for the base I used Mechanicus Gray, and then I washed that down with a layer of Nuln Oil and then a wash of Agrax Earthshade. Basically that gave me that weathered look that I wanted on the base. For the majority of Venom, as far as the black goes, I used Abaddon Black, and then for the highlights there was Eshin Gray that I used for the majority of that. For the symbiote symbol, that was Ceramite White. And for the tongue, I used Mephiston Red. As far as painting the symbiote symbol goes, originally I was planning on just painting that Ceramite White and then just doing a wash of Nuln Oil, hoping that that would get the black outlines I needed in there so that you can sort of see a distinction between each of the 8 spider legs. However, that didn't work out too well because the wash basically clumped together and it was kind of splotchy. So what I had to wind up doing was, in the end, I had to paint over the wash and the whole area again white, and then I went in and I used a very finely detailed brush and I went ahead and painted those black lines in there with Abaddon Black. Because the brush stroke wasn't even. There were some spots where the black lines weren't quite as thin as I would like, so I had to go back in and paint over parts of the black line with some more ceramite white to cover that up. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with how that turned out. Go ahead and rotate the figure around a little bit for you to see. Okay, so that is what my version of Venom looks like. I'm still toying with the idea of adding some slobber to the tongue. Not sure if I'll wind up doing that or not, but thinking about possibly doing that just to give this miniature a little bit more of that oomph that it's missing right now. So might do that in the future. Otherwise, for the most part, I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out. So with that being said, what figures are you looking forward to in Marvel Crisis Protocol? Go ahead and leave that in the comment. Let me know your thoughts on painting Venom and whether or not you like the way this particular version of Venom turned out. Also, if you have any questions, definitely feel free to leave those there. Like this video if you would, and if you have not done so yet, consider subscribing. That being said, I'll see you next time, and keep on gaming on.